YouTube Ozic going the Goat House is back, ranking the top 32 NFL corners for the upcoming 2025 season. A ton of good ones. These are the best of the best. Excited to break down my rankings. Let's do it. Number 32, the Colts corner Kenny Moore. Been their best corner for some time. Now they add another big-time one that will also be in these rankings. But Kenny Moore, maybe not quite as good as he was a few years ago, but very versatile, playing outside, inside, making a big impact. Seahawks corner Tariq Woolen comes in at 31. Still trying to replicate that first season in Seattle, but been a very solid corner for them, a big-time playmaker. Nate Wiggins at 30, another guy that could be a big-time playmaker. The crowded corner room in Baltimore makes them tough to rank because they have Marlon Humphrey, they have Jair Alexander, and they have more, but we'll see those three corners quite a bit as Marlon Humphrey does play in the slot quite a bit. And Alexander does have some injury concerns looking at the past couple years, but Nate Wiggins looks like a promising young talent. Paulson Adebo, the Giants' new corner, was fantastic when he was healthy last year for the New Orleans Saints. A big-time playmaker, can get his hands on the ball. Very good man coverage, which is very difficult, especially in the NFL, and very good at blitzing as well. So a weapon for the Giants. Very young, still improving. Marshawn Lattimore at 28, the Commanders' corner. Not as good as he was a few years ago, but a really good man coverage corner throughout his career, and that's what Dan Quinn is asking out of him, in D.C., and he struggled a little bit when he got to the Commanders, going against team's number one corner, but he's still very, very solid, and I could see him playing even better because, remember, he just got traded there during the season last year, so settled in, could play a little bit better this year. Kamari Lassiter of the Texans had a fantastic rookie season. I know Derek Stingley mainly handling the ones, but when they're in man coverage, they'll run a lot of zone coverage as well, which it's not really set who's got who at that point. Lassiter, I thought, did a fantastic job. Physical and can be a playmaker. Dron Bland, speaking of playmaker, trying to replicate that season 2 year, that record-breaking season 2 years ago, where he obviously totaled an insane amount of interceptions. He will get beat, here and there. He's kind of a big play guy or, will give up some separation, but a very solid young corner looking to break out once again. Tyson Campbell at 25. Another guy that I thought maybe had his best year a couple seasons ago. Dealt with some injuries here and there recently, but a very solid, lengthy man coverage corner. We saw the flashes during the year last year, and now a staff change for the better in Jacksonville. So he kind of can get back on track and be that Tyson Campbell that earns that big contract that he got a couple years ago, and that would make him better than number 25, but it just kind of shows how many good corners there are. Number 24, the Eagles' young slot corner in Cooper DeJean, a fantastic rookie season all the way through the Super Bowl, big-time playmaker, very smart, very sound in zone coverage. Typically, those guys from Iowa are very good in zone coverage. Carlton Davis, the Patriots' new corner to add on top of Christian Gonzalez, the big-time duo there. Carlton Davis is very solid in man coverage, which, the Patriots run a bit of. And he was playing very well for the Lions, actually, better than expected, even though everyone expected good, but better than expected, that good, and then got injured as well. So he just needs to stay healthy. If you could trust him to stay healthy, he'd probably be ranked higher in this, with Patriots putting together a pretty good secondary, pretty good defense in general. Trevon Diggs, tough one to rank, because he's had some seasons where, at least one season where he was easily a top 10 corner. He looked like an elite corner in the making. Another really good man coverage corner that is a big-time playmaker, injured all of last year. Can he get kind of back on track? How is he in, this newer Matt Eberflus defense? He coached, Jalen Johnson pretty well, obviously, so maybe, Diggs has that potential. Zion McCollum of the Buccaneers really broke out last year. More so the first half of the year, he actually was looking like a top 10 corner and maybe didn't play as well after that, but still really promising because he was a small school, raw prospect, freak athletes, guy you got to work with. So it feels like he's ahead of schedule, so he could break out even further and become a star corner at any given time. L'Jarius Sneed, another extremely tough one to rank, the Titans corner, because this dude was one of the very best corners in football when he was with the Chiefs. But when he played last year for the Titans, I know he dealt with injuries, still is dealing with injuries. He didn't look anywhere near the guy that was on the Chiefs. Now it's, we still need to see a lot more to determine if he's that same guy or not. It's not like he's an aging veteran, so I don't see why not, but pretty tricky to rank here. And he needs to get healthy and get out there. Colts new corner Charvarius Ward, been really solid. I thought some of his best years were a couple years ago for the 49ers, but played solid throughout his whole career. Another one of those corners that's been really solid in man coverage throughout his career, but can play zone as well. Much needed big-time corner for the Colts. And then Demordor Lenore of the 49ers really broke out last year, was fantastic, and they extended him. They wanted to kind of jump on that contract before he was worth even more. So a really solid ascending young corner of San Francisco. Christian Benford, same thing, another recent breakout, another guy that's got a lot of upside, young corner. Guy was kind of a raw prospect coming out of Villanova, wasn't really supposed to be anything this special, and has been fantastic for Buffalo. Really good corner play from him last year. I felt like he kind of had to carry that secondary, got him a little more help this year, so we'll see how that plays out. The top 16 NFL corners, the Ravens' new corner, Jair Alexander, coming at 16. Another one of those guys that's really tough to rank because when he's healthy on the field, he looks like one of the better corners in football. Maybe not elite. He was elite a few years ago, but looks that good. Problem is, he played 7 games last year, 7 games the year before, so he does have durability concerns, but this is a super talented corner, better than 16 if he's out in the field. And, couple things here. The Ravens get the most out of everyone. It's a really good defense. Players thrive on that team, on that roster, obviously, and really good players around them. They stopped the run at a high level. They upgraded their pass rush. They have really good defensive backs around Alexander, not just at the cornerback position, but at safety with Kyle Hamilton as well. So Alexander, if he's out there, could be playing at a very high level. And, he doesn't have to play 100% of snaps. They have extremely good depth, extremely good options. So that, maybe could lessen the chance that he gets injured. So I expect Alexander went out there to be playing at a very high level. Devin Witherspoon of the Seattle Seahawks coming at number 15, one of the better young corners in the game. Just with his play style, you always worry, will he hold up, because the dude is flying around and hitting everybody at full speed, whether it's in the run game or the pass game. But man, these versatile corners, the value of them is at a all-time high. I think as the slot corner position, the slot corner player has been used more and more in today's NFL, then the value goes up on those guys. But then talk about the corners that play outside and inside. The value is skyrocketing. Witherspoon is one of those guys where he'll split time inside and outside. It's very difficult to do. He is so good in run support, and he's an ascending young player. And Byron Murphy, in a way, is in the same boat in terms of the versatility. He's another one of those super valuable corners that plays outside and inside. He also led corners last year in interceptions, tied with Marlon Humphrey. So him switching to where he's needed more outside, inside, outside, and tallying up those, turnover totals, pretty damn impressive. I'd say, Murphy, Witherspoon, because they're so versatile, they split, pretty similar. I'd say Witherspoon's a little bit better stopping the run, Murphy a little bit better downfield in coverage. Quinyon Mitchell with a stellar rookie season last year. He's got more playmaking. It's crazy because he's got more playmaking ability than what he showed. He showed a lot of lockdown ability, went against some top corners, covered a lot of grounds, downfield, underneath. So very much impressed. He's actually scary to think he's got a little bit more, in him, more talent in him as well, as he's going to continue to grow. So the Eagles seem like they got a young star there in the making, and I have him ranked at 13. DJ Reed, the Lions' new corner. I thought he was fantastic for the Jets last year. In general, can you say he's better than Sauce Gardner? No, but I thought last year DJ Reed was actually, it's probably debatable, but the best corner on the Jets. So this is a big-time signing for the Detroit Lions. And this is a good sign, too, because the Lions have ran a lot of man coverage, if you ask me, too much. And Reed could play that, but he's very experienced in different zone coverages, and this could be a sign that the Lions could be mixing it up a little bit more going forward, which they need. So this is more than just adding a big corner here. Then Jalen Ramsey at number 11, the Steelers' brand new corner. And he's declined a little bit, but still playing at a very high level, still very solid playmaker in coverage, and still doesn't get enough credit for his run support, getting downhill and making crucial tackles one-on-one and big-time plays. I think he's going to play even better with that Steelers defense. Steelers defense is always blowing out. You got T.J. Watt, Cam Hayward, a lot more options than that. Alex, you could go down the list of these guys. All in front of him. He's going to play at a high level, and he's going to play at a high level at outside corner, inside corner, and at safety. So, I think he'll have a special year for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But I think people do view him as a declining corner. Technically, that is right, but he's still up there, in my opinion. Seems like the Falcons corner, A.J. Terrell, is starting to get a little underrated because yeah, maybe his best season was a few years ago, and people are kind of left, wanting that and more of that, I suppose. So they're starting to get quiet on him, but it's a very, very solid coverage corner in zone or in man. I mean, there's been some change with Atlanta where he's had to play more man that year, more zone that year, and I thought he's been very solid in both. But last year, the Falcons secondary, they gave up a lot. They gave up a lot through the air. It felt like Bates was carrying the safety group, and Terrell was really carrying the corner group. Everybody else got beat. Teams went in there just picking on everyone else last year because they had backup starting, backup level players starting, in my opinion, there. So I thought teams were just we're going to go away from Terrell. I thought it was very obvious they did that. There's a reason for that. So a top 10 corner in my mind. And Marlon Humphrey comes in at number 9. I thought he had a fantastic year last year, much better than the year before. Very important corner for them. Plays inside and out. I do think he's a little bit better on the inside, but the value of that position is at an all-time high in the NFL. Just so important. And him and Byron Murphy led NFL corners in interceptions last year. Just a big-time playmaker. Still got a big, important piece to one of the better teams, to one of the better defenses in football. So Marlon Humphrey comes in at number 9. He's got some help, a lot of good corners. 3 made this list for Baltimore. Top 8 NFL corners, Christian Gonzalez of the Patriots at number 8. They have a hell of a duo as long as they're healthy with Gonzalez and Davis, so I'm really excited about that. Gonzalez started a little slow early last year. Everyone's like, uh-oh, but then he really took off, really got going. It's a guy that's very solid in zone and man coverage. It's pretty big to that Patriots defense. He's just going to continue to grow, continue to improve. He's got elite potential, and he could get there this year for sure. I had an elite grade on him as a prospect, so really excited about him. J.C. Horn at 7. He does have durability concerns, does have a history of injuries. It's tough to rank a guy that high that's been injured a lot, but when this guy is healthy and on the field, he is damn talented, obviously. He technically did give up some touchdowns last year, a little more than you want to, but this is a damn good corner. Another one of those guys that was more of a man coverage corner at first, but the Panthers ran a good mixture of everything last year, so it was good to see. But a guy that, if he's healthy and starts to kind of give himself a chance to get consistent reps just by staying healthy, he could become one of those top corners. He's right there at Patrick Surtain, same draft class. If he's healthy, if he's out there, so he can get up there. Denzel Ward, very impressed with his man coverage ability. The Browns have been running as much man coverage as anyone. Too much, if you ask me, but it's very difficult in the NFL. Chasing around these insane elite NFL receivers, and Ward's doing a phenomenal job doing that. I think he's underrated in terms of getting downhill and attacking the football if it's in someone's hands as well. Top 5, Jalen Johnson, the Chicago Bears. He just keeps getting better and better, in my opinion. Been very solid in zone coverage as Matt Eberflus ran a lot of zone. Obviously, they're switching defense coordinator, switching to Dennis Allen. It's a complete change because he's a man coverage guy, like completely man coverage guy. So you do worry, or you don't worry, but you wonder, I should say, about the defense, the guys that were there switching. But I'm not wondering really about Jalen Johnson because the reps he was in man coverage in the past looked fantastic, really good and press, and he's just continuing to get better and better. So he's a top 5 corner in my opinion. Sauce Gardner coming at number 4. To me, it's really close with these top guys. He's definitely one of the top guys, but I think there's a little bit more to the other guys' games, I should say. Sauce Gardner, fantastic in coverage, still has upside, which is scary. One of the very best talking about in coverage. He could be a little more consistent or a little bit more willing in the tackling department. But we have to kind of nitpick with these guys when we're splitting them up here. Top 3, Derek Stingley Jr. of the Texans, big-time playmaker, getting better and better, obviously. An elite corner in this league was a big reason the Texans defense kept getting better, and I thought they became an elite defense. I thought they were one of the better defenses at the very end when it came to kind of playoff time. I thought I would put the Eagles 1, the Texans 2, and Stingley was a big reason for that. And then I got Trent McDuffie at 2. Somehow it feels like he's still slightly underrated, even though everyone's going to rank him around this area. It just seems like he doesn't get the top 2 love. But slot corner value went up as it's become more of a passing league, and now the value of the corner, if you find DBs that can do a bit of everything, they're so valuable. You hold on to those guys, and McDuffie plays outside, inside, wherever you need him more, that's where he'll be. The Chiefs run a lot of, it's mainly man coverage in cover 2 over there. Really difficult job really both those, but especially man coverage, and McDuffie does it at such a high level. But the only knock that McDuffie has is he doesn't have the greatest size, but I don't really factor that in. This is not prospect evaluations, right? We're not factoring that in. We're just talking about how good they are, how good they play at the NFL level. He checks every single box, so he's a top 2 corner. Patrick Surtain's got to be number 1, a guy that absolutely checks every single box. He can be a lockdown guy, can make you just completely throw the other way all game long. If he throws way, he can be a big-time playmaker, come up and support the run. Obviously has every single trait that you look for in a corner. So the reigning defensive player of the year is the top corner in the league right now, but definitely has some comp. The guys that I would consider one, I considered Surtain, McDuffie, and Stingley Jr. for number 1. Not, Sauce Gardner's right after them. Like, he was locked in at 4 right after them. But for number 1, those are the guys that are kind of the complete package for me. A lot of really good corners, some young ones that could really take that next step. We saw a lot of teams that had multiple on this list. The Texans had a couple. We talked about the Patriots as well. The Ravens had 3. So, yeah, the corner talent, it needs to be high because the receiver talent's getting ridiculous every single year. We see it with the draft classes. But the corner talent level is at an all-time high right now, so it's really good to see. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Who was too high? Who was too low? Who was a snub? What will your rankings look like? I do want to see some fan rankings real quick from our ex-subscribers. Ex-subscribers corner rankings from Ian. He has Patrick Surtain at number 1, Derek Stingley 2, Trent McDuffie 3. So the same top 3, just flip 2 and 3. I'm not really going to argue that. Denzel Ward, Sauce Gardner, Marlon Humphrey, Christian Gonzalez, Jalen Johnson, Jalen Ramsey sneaking in the top 10. There's some love for Christian Benford, who is definitely, it seems to be on his way. Just missed Jair Alexander, Devin Witherspoon, Shavarius Ward, Quinion Mitchell, and Mikey Sainer. Still a little love for him. Yeah, he's the guy that kind of just missed the cut, but impressed by his rookie season. Riley has Patrick Surtain. I'm guessing everybody probably will have Surtain, Derek Stingley, Jalen Johnson, number 3. I had him at 5. Trent McDuffie, Denzel Ward, Gonzalez. There's some more love for Christian Benford. Love to see it. Sauce Gardner, Marlon Humphrey, Devin Witherspoon, DJ Reed, Quinion Mitchell, and Tariq Woolen getting some shout-outs there. From Aiden Weingardner, we got Surtain at number 1 again. Derek Stingley. More love for Christian Benford. I definitely think he's on his way, but yeah, fans seem to be pretty high on him. I mean, he had a fantastic year last year. Sauce Gardner, Marlon Humphrey, J.C. Horn, Trent McDuffie, a little low on him. I think he should be higher. Jalen Johnson, but it's all the same. Same top corners we're all agreeing on for the most part. Denzel Ward. Some love for Joey Porter Jr. He's been good. I've been expecting a little bit more from him, a little underwhelmed. They add Jalen Ramsey. They add Darius Slay. I know Ramsey's going to play a bit of multiple positions. So curious how much Porter versus Slay, how much these guys play at outside corner. Fennec, Patrick Surtain, Trent McDuffie, Derek Stingley. So the same exact top 3 as me. Some love for Christian Gonzalez. He's definitely on his way up there. Jalen Johnson at 5, which I had as well. Denzel Ward, A.J. Terrell. Some love for him. Good to see. Marlon Humphrey, Sauce Gardner, and there's Darius Slay. Some love for Darius Slay. He's had an interesting career, like good his whole career, really good, but he's had like years where, all right, still good, but is he declining? And all of a sudden he has an elite year, and then it's kind of dropping down a little bit. All of a sudden, an elite year. It's like kind of randomly just goes off again. So could we see that from the great Darius Slay this year with the Pittsburgh Steelers? King has Patrick Surtain, Sauce Gardner, Jalen Johnson, Derek Stingley, Gonzalez, Humphreys, some of the same guys. Some love for Latimer. He was up here, maybe dropped off a little bit. It's so tough for him because he's a longer time veteran corner, and he's been playing so much man coverage his whole career. It's a tough gig to be playing that much man coverage. So he's still trying to chase around the best receiver on the field. Not that he's like super old or anything, but at this point, McDuffie, Ward, Woolen. So some more love for Woolen there. See Denzel Ward getting some love. Gavin Mallard's got Patrick Surtain, Derek Stingley, Sauce Gardner, Quinion Mitchell. Some big love for him. Trent McDuffie, Denzel Ward, Christian Gonzalez, Jalen Johnson, L'Jarius Sneed. Yes, I mean, Sneed was up there for sure. And then last year dealt with some injuries, currently dealing with some injuries. And is he the same player away from the Chiefs? It's definitely possible. We just need to see more from him on the Titans. Hopefully he gets healthy. Jalen Ramsey, Marlon Humphrey. Roger McCreary love there. Slot corner for the Tennessee Titans. Has the ability to play some outside as well. Titans have some options. Sting, if Sneed is out there. Big Outs got Stingley 1, Surtain 2, Jalen Johnson 3, McDuffie, Christian Gonzalez, Denzel Ward, Terrell, Woolen, Murphy, and Latimer. So some love for different guys there. You get some Woolen, Byron Murphy, Marshawn Latimer, honorable mention Lassiter, Mitchell, Reed, Ward, Humphrey. So some different options there. And then Fitz had Patrick Surtain. So everybody had Patrick Surtain. Big Outs had Stingley. Stingley also elite, and he just took another big step last year. So he's definitely, they're all those guys, the couple of guys are in that conversation for sure. But Fitz had Patrick Surtain, Trent McDuffie, Derek Stingley, so the same three as me. Then Jalen Johnson says he loves this guy. I love his game as well. I had him at 5, so we're very close to the same year. Denzel Ward. More love for Christian Benford. Love to see it. Marlon Humphrey, Shavarius Ward, Sauce Gardner, Cooper DeJean, or DJ Reed at 10. Honorable mention Roger. Someone else says Roger McCreary. He said he's a dog. Yeah. Titans, the more you think about it, they got some options. I'm curious how they move these guys. I think they could give different looks, basically. If Snead is healthy, he's going to be an outside corner. Brownlee looked really good when he stepped in last year. He could play outside. I like him outside, but he also could play inside if he needed to. McCreary is more inside, but also can play outside. And then safeties, it was supposed to be Hooker, who's really solid, underrated, and Xavier Woods, but they draft Kevin Winston Jr. Winston can play strong or free. Woods more likely a free, and then Amani Hooker could play free, strong, or in the slot. So that kind of, I'm curious now. This is kind of, you guys talking about Roger McCreary is kind of sparking my interest. Like they could move guys around and give different looks with their safeties and corners. So that's something I'm curious about, something to watch this year with the Titans' options in the secondary. They need a better edge rush. So I love the interior D-line. The secondary is getting better. Edge rush not looking so great right now. But there you have it. Yeah, always good to see different opinions here. It just sparks new conversations, as you can tell. So thank you guys for your support and playing along. We're going to do safeties next. More rankings to come. Maybe some fantasy videos and a lot of videos heading into the NFL season with predictions and, cuts, trades, things like that. So hopefully you can join us. I can't wait for our in-season content. Thanks, everyone, for watching this video. Goodbye.